The year was 1979, and all the world was caught up in disco and Star Wars. But in Louisville, something was happening. A young entrepreneur named Ben had a vision to be the best record store in all of the city. Fast forward to 2023, and Better Days Records is still going strong. Still, after all these years, owned by the same guy. We have had some trips and falls along the way, but so does life, and Better Days is here to stay. With two awesome locations at 921 Barrett Avenue and at 2600 West Broadway, Better Days are surely in your future.
Welcome, everyone, to the Alehorn. Hope you've been well since last time we had an episode. I'm joined by two guests today. One is a familiar face to most of you, or familiar voice, Mr. Mark Jackson from the Metal Forge.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And a new guest today on the Alehorn. Pretty excited to have him. His name is Sam Wright, or as you may know him as Wrestling Steve, or Wessling Steve. Host of the Wessling Steve podcast. How are you today, Sam?
Doing excellent. How are you?
Yeah, I hope you're tackling the day, jumping off the top rope and elbow dropping that son of a bitch.
Canadian Destroyer time, baby.
Wow.
I know you have some cabinets to paint, so I'm hoping you tackle that pretty successfully.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, and the cabinets. Yeah.
Yeah. Been tons of fun. That was
Yeah, it sounds like it. All right, before we get into the topic today, just want to remind everyone that we are on Flamekeeper on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Flamekeeper. You can sign up for some perks, $1, $2, or $5. It gives you early access, some exclusive podcasts and videos when they seem appropriate, and also early access to the Metal Forge and also the MUDHORN, which is our nerd sci-fi etc. podcast.
It's anything nerd related.
Yes.
Anything fandom related, whether it be movies, TV, music, wrestling, whatever we think, Masters of the Universe, old school toys, commercials, all that kind of shit.
Yes.
You can find on the MUDHORN.
Yeah, our last episode was about the 25 greatest TV cartoon intros, deemed the best by some guy on YouTube. His list and reacted to them, but so you can find that if you're interested, and a bunch of other stuff. So anyway, let's get into the topic.
Surprised by that list.
Yeah, let's get into the topic at hand today. So 72 Seasons has been out for about 2 months now, close to it, and now it's time to reflect on it, what we all think about it. In case you're not familiar, that is the album that Mark's holding up. And there is, you've changed it. Well, there's the back, Mr. James Hector.
Yeah, I love this picture of James.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Does he?
Yeah, he was like my dad in that picture. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that's why I love it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I like everybody's picture in this except for Lars.
Well, it's easy to hate on a picture of Lars.
Well, no, Lars looks for the healthiest of all of them.
Yeah.
Because he was always a runner, a diver, fucking all this this health nut craze shit, right? He arguably looks the worst,
right,
out of all of them.
Well, let's start with the cover first, and then just kind of get into the track. How you feel about the cover 2 months in? Liking it? Still don't like it?
For me, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I still don't like the cover. I'm trying to find my note for it. Yeah, still not a fan. I mean, I love black and yellow. I love that. I love everything about the burned up stuff, like the burned up guitars and stuff. But the front cover with the baby crib and stuff, I just don't care for.
Right.
I'm gonna have to say I actually completely disagree with that take. I fucking love the cover. I think it's different. enough to be interesting. And I think it's a beautiful composition, and for what they were going for with the theme of the album specifically, I think it works wonderfully. But that's just me. I know I'm probably in the very vocal minority on liking the album cover. I know a lot of people hate it. I like it.
Well, the cool thing about it is Metallica, when they do get with somebody, they do tend to stick with them for a little bit because how it works.
Yeah.
They did that with Pusshead. Obviously, back in the 80s, they did that with Fleming Rasmussen for 3 albums. They did that with Bob Rock for 5 albums. Is that right? 4 albums. And if you want to include Garage Days and shit,
Right.
which I don't, that's cover songs. But they just but yeah, they stick with people because the same person who did this cover art is the same person who did Death Magnetic's cover art and Hardwired's cover art as well. So yeah, but for me, I mean, I see what you're saying. It's just the crib that doesn't do it for me.
I can completely understand that.
We're not babies, man.
I'm still not a huge fan of it. Maybe if it had like actually Metallica on over the crib instead of just like the M, maybe it would stand out to me a little bit more, like be more legit, I guess. But
Yeah.
just, when you look at all their album covers and you see that one, it looks kind of out of place, like big time. So
Well, I see what you're saying, but Death Magnetic did that have Metallica on the cover?
Yeah,
Yeah, it did. It had it over the grave.
Yeah.
But I don't think it did on the CD version because the CD, it had the grave that dug down. It was just a hype sticker on this.
right.
So, yeah, I mean, artwork for me, I would have to give, I'll rate it 3 horns out of 5.
Okay.
So almost too much metal for one hand,
Yeah,
but
I'll go 1 star on that shit.
1 star.
Yeah, I just don't like it. But
See, Wrestling Sam, Steve.
We're doing out of 5. I'd probably give it a 4.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So before we get started in the songs, are you a musician, Sam?
I am not.
We're gonna get like just a fan perspective on this one versus like me and Mark playing music. Okay, cool.
Right.
That's fine. All right, so let's just go Mark, Sam, and then me on each of the songs. Just talk about it for like a minute or so and move along. So the first song is the title track, 72 Seasons, the second longest song on the album. What's your feelings on it, Mark?
Well, okay, so I broke down kind of everything individually and on a whole level. So I like the song 72 Seasons, and ultimately, the only thing I can say about the album is it's a riff fest, 100%. Okay. Granted, in later years, Metallica's riff fest albums like this, they tend to have a lot of repeat parts. So song length, I get the whole fact of, being like a 7.5 or 8.5 minute song or whatever. Sometimes it just doesn't do it for me. Lyrically, this song does it for me, except for one lyric in the entire song.
Right.
And that's 72 Seasons Gone. When he says that, it's like that real chunky dun 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 dun. And it just feels cluttered. As me being a musician, it just feels cluttered to hear him say 72 Seasons God, or however he does it.
Right.
So other than that, like, I just I like the song pretty well. And that's really my thing for pretty much anything on the album is I can give you examples of like other lyrics, like Here I Am, like in what is that? If Darkness Had a Sun, Here I Am. It's just really like James has a method to his madness where he backwards. It's like he talks like Yoda sometimes in lyrics. It's like he sings backwards. But this is stuff that he's been doing for 40 plus years. So I mean, it's not anything new. Because there's stuff that I can't stand that he says in other songs, and I'm just like, oh.
Even in the good songs.
Yeah, even in the good songs. Yeah.
How about you, Sam? What's your feelings on the song in general?
I think from an opening perspective, it's decent. The fact that they chose that as the album opener, kind of in all fairness, kind of a ballsy move. I think it's one of the more boring songs on the album.
Really?
Just from a pure lyrical standpoint. And Mark and I have discussed this before. James has never been like a super strong lyricist. Taking that into account, I think from a lyrical perspective, it's certainly the weakest. And again, going back to the theming of the album about youth and getting older and angst and rage and pain and misery and everything, and then the song just doesn't really speak to me from those perspectives. I like the chorus. I think the chorus is good. The 72 Seasons Gone is
his favorite.
I'm with Mark on that one. It is clunky when he gets to the 72 Seasons Gone, but for the most part, I think it's the most boring song on the album. They could have taken it in a leaner direction too, because like you said, it's the second longest song on the album, and it feels like it, especially when you've listened to it more than once.
Right.
First time I heard it, I was like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Second time I heard it, I'm like, I'm over it. Yeah. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think it's kind of boring.
Well, I'll say this about the song 72 Seasons also before you kick off, Jason. And I'll say that, like, for me, in like my estimation of this, is like, it's the song that I can like put on and then not have to listen to the rest of the album. I'm like, yep, that does it for me.
So I like this song a lot also, but I will say the overemphasis on Wrath of Man, whether it's feeding on the Wrath of Man or just saying it before on every line in the chorus, it kind of gets on my nerves, and it's kind of overused to me. Like, I think they just said it once and been good.
Right.
It's like, dude, I get it. You know, yeah. So that's the only thing about that. That's the only thing about that song, really, that I'm like, dude, why are you burning this shit into the ground like so much? I mean, it's a cool line, but it doesn't have the impact that 6-7 times you hear it.
Right. I think if they had left it at the beginning, that first one,
yes,
last
I think I've been good enough. Yeah.
That's fine. And I don't too much.
Yeah, I agree. All right. We good on that one?
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Shadows Follow. 6 minutes, 11 seconds. What do you think, Mark?
I like the song Shadows Follow. Because it checks the boxes for me as a metalhead, really. It's got that, you know, that fucking that riff, and then it does like the stops, that real staccato stomp with the, and I mean it's probably one of the only actual thrash songs on the album. And not like just a metal song or a hard rock song.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. To me, if you were actually to get specific of genre, it would probably be the closest approximation to actual what they started as with thrash.
Right.
Than anything else.
Cool. How about you, Sam?
I'm blowing my load early. It's my favorite song on the album. The first time I heard it went immediately into second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. Like I downloaded the album, listened to 72 Seasons, got to Shadows Follow, and didn't get to the next track for probably an hour.
Oh, wow.
So many times. I fucking love this song. I hope it's okay.
Yes. Oh yeah. You can totally cuss here.
Yeah,
We don't give a
let me
fuck.
help you out. What the fuck, dude? Seriously, what the fuck? Feel better now?
But I think it's the most interesting Metallica have sounded in probably 15 or 20 years. The pre-chorus with that real weird, like almost haunting singing from Hetfield is fantastic. I think that's also the first song that Rob sings on, if I'm not mistaken, on the album.
Maybe.
I think.
I don't know.
But regardless to that point, like I think it's the most interesting song on the album, and Inamorata fans can blow me. I'll speak my opinion on that one when we get to it. But I think Shadows Fall is the most interesting song on the album. I think it's the most easy to listen to on the album. I think it's the most fun song on the album. It doesn't feel like a chore to sit through it. It's not tedious like some of the other tracks are. And number one song on the album for me.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you say Inamorata fans can blow me as Wrestling Steve?
Inamorata fans can blow me. Fucking Inamorata is not a good song.
Let's hold opinions about other songs until we get to the song.
Yeah, he said it, and I had to hear it in the Wrestling Steve voice.
Yeah, we'll cut that out and we'll just use it somewhere.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I like this song. It's the typical number 2 track. It's usually pretty good mid tempo and heavy, as they seem to be through all the albums. So yeah, that's all I got to say about it. But chorus is okay, but the diminished fifth stuff in that riff is fucking badass, man. I love it. So
yeah, that walk down stuff.
So
all
right. So moving on to I guess this was the second single. Is that right? They released back in January. Screaming Suicide.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Lux Eterna, Screaming Suicide, Darkness Had a Sun. I think in that order. And
then 72 seasons. Yeah. Screaming Suicide, I didn't care for at the beginning of first hearing it. The single version, I didn't like. I'm not, being a mental health advocate as much as I am and everything, I thought it interesting that Metallica did a song like that.
Mm-hmm.
That it was, it's super hardcore, really. So it actually has grown on me a little bit. So I don't not like it, but I don't like it either. I'll listen to it on the album.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go and seek it out.
Sure.
I'm not going to, sometimes it's sacrilegious to skip a song on an album anyways, but I'm just not going to skip it. I'm not going to waste the time and the effort.
Gotcha.
That's my opinion. I could take or leave it.
Yeah, gotcha. How about you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm kind of of the same mindset. The first time I heard it, I was like, it didn't hype me up for the album at all. And then in the context of the album, I think it's kind of out of place, especially in the listing and where it's put. I will say the sequencing for the album is not great.
Mm-hmm.
It's very backloaded for the most part. But with Screaming Suicide, I'm with Mark. I think but where he calls it hardcore, I say 3 edgy 5 me, bro. I think the last, Death Magnetic had Suicide Redemption on it, and I think they're just playing with that word too much. I'm not one of those that's like, oh, unalive, he unalived himself. The word suicide gets a lot of hate, and for good reason. But I think writing a song that's almost specifically about suicide is just, at this point, it's in bad taste.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. I don't love it. I don't hate it. And I will skip it if it comes on, if I've heard it in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Cool. Pretty cool collection of riffs. About it. Really, I don't care much about the song other than that. I like when the riffs start and I just kind of get bored with them after about a couple bars, really.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see. And yeah, that's part of the whole conversation that on one of the notes that I had made on this album is, exclusively since 2003 with Saint Anger, they have been a cut and paste right band.
Mm-hmm.
From, they'll record one take of something that's the best, and then they will paste it 72 times in the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so, and this album is no different, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Because sometimes things do go on too long.
Yeah. I'm trying to believe that's one of the shorter songs on the album. It seems like it goes on for fucking ever.
Yeah, it's only like 5.5 minutes or something.
5:30. Yeah.
There was a guy on YouTube who took every song on the album and trimmed the filler from the songs and cut it from like 76 minutes down to 48.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Cut almost 30 minutes off the album, and I'm like, dude, and it's actually a fucking great project. It's so much better than the actual final product.
That's great.
All right, next one, Sleepwalk My Life Away, 6 minutes, 56 seconds. This is the only song with
56
drums intro. So also terrible name, if I might add that in there.
Yeah, terrible name. Great music. I'm not gonna lie, it's great.
The bass tone is fucking pretty crushing.
Yeah, that opening bass riff is so good.
Yeah. Totally like this weird thing. And obviously Rob wrote the riff for the song because it starts with him. But like for me, it all comes down to the lyrics on this album. I mean, it's got good lyrics in the song, but like again, when he gets to the thing where he tries to sing the name of the song, it just kind of turns it off for me. Yeah, sleepwalk my life away. Yeah. and of course, I'm throwing the in after everything. Right. But I mean, it's almost a 7-minute song. So I mean, it's all interesting actually. That song is like, when it really comes down to it, Shadows Follow had interesting parts that interconnected. This musically is the same way to me.
Sure.
Yeah. Checks the thrash boxes, checks the metal box.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely accurate. Like, I don't, because Jason had My Friend of Misery, where he wrote the riff. He's the one that came up with the riff. And if Rob wrote the riff for Sleepwalk My Life Away, I don't think it's going to have that same impact as My Friend of Misery. I think My Friend of Misery has stood the test of time for 30 years, whereas this one isn't something they're going to be playing in 5 years. I guarantee it. It's another boring song to me. Not a fan. I do like some of the music. I love that opening bass riff. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a whole, the album has excellent bass parts when you can hear them.
Seems to be a trend with Metallica.
Yeah, since Justice, yeah. But I think as a whole, the song, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. With the exception of that real chunky opening bass. Other than that, got no love for it. I like it more than Suicide Is My Name, or Screaming Suicide. I like it a lot more than Screaming Suicide. I will say that. But that's damning it with faint praise.
Right.
Yeah. Not great. Not a huge fan, but that's fine.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, I get kind of bored with it for about a minute. So well, let's do it on vinyl. I usually just turn this one off because I know You Must Burn is next, and that song is well, I'll wait to get to it. But yeah, I usually just listen to side 1 and side 4 when I listen to the final.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I mean, it starts out cool. I get into it, and then I just lose interest in it pretty quick. So
right.
Yeah, like I said, the title is not great. It's kind of cheesy, trying to be sung. I mean, like, it's okay to name songs and not even say the title in the lyrics,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's millions of songs that never
Yeah, I know a band that has a song called Evil Bitch that's not even in the lyrics.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe they said it. Maybe they'd be bigger. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they said it, maybe they would be. Who knows?
We'll say that for the Overload discussion on their next album.
Throw it in the breakdown.
Evil bitch.
Right, yeah.
All right, moving on. You Must Burn. One of the longer songs, 7 minutes, 3 seconds. And let me say, it seems like 20 fucking minutes, this song does. But go ahead, Mark. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm going to pass.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I don't even care about the song. I skip it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I just don't dig it. But I am going to, in this moment, I'm going to reclaim time for Screaming Suicide really fast.
Yeah.
Because there was an interesting point that I forgot to make because I didn't look at my notes. The walk down in Screaming Suicide is the same walk down as Veteran of the Psychic Wars from Blue Oyster Cult, which Lars loves that song. So down, 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 down. Yeah. So
real quick for me, going back to Screaming Suicide too, is like, I have no idea why he put that little quick kick pattern in on the fourth time every time, because he does not even attempt it live. And I'm just like, why do you play shit you don't even care about? Like, really, why? I don't
right.
But anyway, okay, that's
it's the same thing. I'll explain it like this: he doesn't have to do it live because it's probably one of those things that he can't do live. Exactly. Like he can't. Like James cannot come in time.
Oh, we all have trouble coming in time.
Yeah, right. Coming in on time on Ritual Misery and Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Which is why he stutters at Ritual Misery, because he can't come in on the beat that he needs to.
Right.
So he stutters into it.
Gotcha. Speak for yourself down there, Sam, by the way.
Huh?
Sam can speak for himself on that last comment he made, so.
Hey, you're tied. Hey, you're tied at 2.
Remember, in the words of Gandalf, a wizard is never early nor late. He arrives when he needs to. So
precisely when he needs to.
Exactly right. So
tell my wife that, please.
And since mine is named Gandalf, you know.
Yeah, right. You Must Burn can you burn. Must suck it.
Okay. Yeah, I second that motion. You Must Burn is honestly, I think it's the weakest song on the album.
You know, maybe that's the reason why everything is burned on the album cover.
They listened to the song and they destroyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this one when I was listening to this today, I was like, dude, what is this? Like, how long is this fucking song? Like, seriously, is it like 20 minutes? It was like 4 minutes.
It's like 4 songs.
It was like 4 minutes in. I was like, damn, I've been listening to this for a while now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I like the riff, and then I lose interest real quick.
Right.
It starts out good, and then it's like so fucking repetitive. It's like, oh my god, just move on to something else, you know. So, okay, then moving on. First single way back in November this was released.
November, yeah. It was November. It was the weekend of because it was almost like 6 full months away.
Yeah,
it was mid-November.
Yeah,
is when
I think it was like Black Friday, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the week before Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the week before Thanksgiving.
But it seems like a long time ago. So we've been living this song. This song will almost be a year old very soon. I mean, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, officially a year old.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not to mention the time that they took to record it and write it.
Yeah, because they probably did it for a year at least.
A year or two, probably. Honestly, Lux Eterna is the same song as Hardwired.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3.5 minute fucking thrash track that they released first. They did the same thing with Hardwired. Hardwired is like 3:23 or 3:33 or something like this. This is 3:26. So I mean, they're hitting that one hit wonder kind of thing right now, it seems like. And I like the song because it does jam. I mean,
it does.
the riffage in the entire song is awesome. Now, you know, anybody who listens to the Metal Forge or watches the Metal Forge Unsleeved, who knows me, you know, as I am, you know, that's all that checks all the fucking boxes. That's the thrash. It's the new wave of British heavy metal influence. It's everything. The lyrics, you know, the naming alone. I mean, it's almost as if like, what's the point? You know, what's the point of naming it Lux Eterna when you've got other songs on the album called Sleepwalk My Wife, My Wife Away?
Yeah.
Yeah, or Darkness Had a Son. When you had fucking song titles as Disposable Heroes and Blackened
and Leper Messiah.
Yeah, you know, like yeah, and you know, and Damage, you know, fucking. So to me, it's like, what's the point of it?
Yeah. How about you,
But
Sam?
lyrically, I like it too.
I really dug it the first few times I heard it. They're clearly wearing their Diamond Head influence on their sleeve in that song.
Yeah.
It would not sound out of place on a new wave of British heavy metal playlist.
And he says lightning to the nations in the song.
Yeah. I think in the context of the album, it doesn't really fit, going back with what Mark said about song titles and themes. But at the same time, it is nice to have a little ray of sunshine in the middle of the album, considering how dark the rest of it is. I will say, Hetfield's singing is fucking amazing on this album, for the most part. I think he's mixed well. I think he sounds great. I know a lot of his Pro Tools. I don't give a shit. He sounds awesome. He's one of the few metal singers that we can honestly say he's gotten better with age. I prefer Hetfield now to Hetfield on Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning. That's just me, though. I honestly, I know it's just me. I know there's a lot of people that prefer Teenage Hetfield to 50 prefer Teenage Hetfield to 50-plus-year-old Hetfield. I like.
Well, no, I get you for that, and no, and the funny thing to me is hearing 50s Hetfield singer sing the same off-key notes and words as 18 to 25-year-old Hetfield singer did too. Like in Motor Breath, when he goes, "It's how I live my life," he always shoots flat in that, and he still does to this day.
Yeah. and honestly, I think that's just doing it so much.
Right. It's the repetition.
And honestly, do I think he can do a lot of the interesting vocal techniques he does on this album live? Absolutely fucking not. Not without help. Not without trickery. Absolutely fucking not. They sound fucking great on the album.
Right.
But yeah, Lux Eterna as a whole, I still like it. It's one that I've listened to so much that I've kind of burned myself out on it.
Right.
But yeah, it's a ton of fun. Nice little ray of sunshine in the middle of the track list. Yeah, I think it's an all around solid song. Hetfield sounds great. The band as a whole sounds great.
It is mixed very well.
It is mixed very well, and like I said, it's got that nice little early to mid '80s new wave of British heavy metal sound to it. So I can't help but love it.
What you got, Jason?
I mean, there's nothing else to be said about this song. It's been discussed to death. Who does it better, Metallica or a fellow Louisville band that you know that does it too?
I don't know, man.
Shut up. We're not talking about that.
No, like I say, it's fine. It doesn't overstay. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and that's fine with me because a lot of these songs do. So
Yeah.
Right.
okay, go ahead. Do what?
The next song.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Crown
So here's
Barbed
another.
Wire.
Yeah, Crown of Barbed Wire. This I don't know.
What's up?
I don't know about this song. Go ahead, Mark.
I mean, you're gonna notice a thing with me on this whole fucking you know, on this whole deal is like, ugh. I'm gonna be like that guy where it's like, man, it's great musically, it's not so great lyrically. I dig like the little doomy like thing in it. So tight, this crowd of barbed wire. You know, I actually dig that like dirty, nasty Hetfield thing. You got a lot of it in like Load and Reload era, where he, you know, he's almost like he almost comes off like a pervert to me.
Yeah, it's just sleazy thing.
Yeah, he sounds really sleazy, and like I kind of dig that, but like not about Jesus or you know a Jesus character.
Right.
Yeah, he's wearing his religious trauma on his sleeve in this song.
Yeah,
The Jesus allegory, I don't think works. I think as a whole, I do like the sleaze and the vocals, like especially in that chorus, man. It sounds really fucking good, but at the same time, I'm like, ew.
you feel dirty after listening to it.
But yeah, I'm not a fan. It is I listened to it for the first time since the album dropped yesterday, and yeah, I could give it two shits less about it. It's not great. It's up there with probably least favorite Metallica songs of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's Lulu included.
Damn,
We don't say that
I don't even
word
count that
here.
one.
So.
Well, I mean, I'm painting a picture for how much I did.
That's the 4-letter L word.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was love.
No, it's
That's
Lulu.
the Beatles Cirque du Soleil show in Vegas.
Yeah, then you know.
But yeah, like I stand by it. It's up there with my least favorite Metallica songs, and that's coming from someone who is a Metallica apologist. Like I'm like, St. Andrew's got a lot of good stuff on it. And Reload are great. I'm definitely Metallica apologist.
Me too.
I don't see any defense for this song at all, other than the vocals. The vocals are great. That's about it.
Yeah.
Lyrics suck. The theme sucks. The general vibe sucks. Like, they could have scrubbed it from the track list and nobody would notice. Like, I guarantee it. Nobody would.
It would have been on a 30th anniversary box set.
It would have been on, like, you know how they did the 4-track EP after Death?
Oh, yeah, Beyond Magnetic.
Yeah, it would be like Beyond 72 seasons. Like, what's fucking 144 seasons?
Yeah, like I said, I forgot the song existed until I listened to it today. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this song. And I was like, I still don't like it, you know?
It
like this one, yeah, this one's tied for one of the worst on the album for me.
Yep.
I have 3 that I really don't like on this album. This is one of them for sure. Yeah. Okay, well, next one, Chasing Light. Again, I forgot this one existed too. Today, so.
Dude, I dig it.
Really?
Chase that light. You know, and then it's thrash too, man. I dig it. I love the vocal effects in it and shit. I love the riffage. I don't care for the lyrics, but I mean, it's not necessarily like what he's saying. It's just what they're doing.
Right.
You know, the lyrics are forgettable, yes. But like that beginning, that intro where it's like shout, 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 and he's saying chase that light, and then it goes fucking into that riff, man. I get that. I feel it.
Right.
Again, you know, forgot it was on the album, but when I heard it again, I was like, wow, this really fucking this rips. You know, or slaps as the kids say today.
Yeah, we're doing rips. Slaps is stupid.
Slaps is stupid.
Yeah. It rips.
And the album didn't drop. It just released on release day.
Yeah.
So
and you know, and this leads me to believe that you know, because it's the writer credit shows Kirk.
That makes sense.
So the way that riff is, that sounds like a fucking Kirk riff, you know? Because let's face it, you know, Kirk wrote their biggest hit ever.
Yeah. It's forgettable. I don't like it. We can skip me.
Well, let's just skip over to Darkness Had a Sun then, because I don't really like it either. This is also one of the three I don't really like.
Yeah.
Darkness Had a Sun. What you got, Mark?
Again, it fucking nitpicks and lyrics for me. You know, I hate the fucking "If Darkness Had a Sun, Here I Am."
Yeah,
I hate that.
The title is pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
I'm bathing holy water, man.
I mean, that's not like a bad lyric.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. I fucking love this song, but you'll get to me.
No, I mean, musically I like it, but musically I like the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mostly all lyrics for me.
Right.
And I have a lot of fucking nitpick stuff. There's one of the, I think it's in this song where they do the fucking Aussie riff where it goes da 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 da, where it sounds like the fucking the one Aussie song. So, what you got, Sam?
Like I said, I'm in the minority on this one. I loved it, but only in the context of the album as a whole. When it first released as the single, I didn't love it. In fact, I can honestly say I didn't like it at all. And then the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. I like the "If Darkness Had a Sun, Here I Am." And I think it's a fun tune. I think that's going to be great live. I think it's going to be like a fucking sing along.
Yeah, because they totally get that. Well, I mean, this is also the one that starts out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say
the TikTok videos.
The TikTok thing. I want to talk about the TikTok thing. The TikTok thing is fucking stupid. The first video was Lars playing this drum fill, right? Okay, I get it. Like, cool. We're teasing a song. Cool. And then the second part, the stitch with Rob, right? Coming in with the bass. Cool. Then Kurt comes in. Cool. 2.5 weeks later, 2.5 fucking weeks later, we get fucking Hetfield on there playing the main riff, that do. And I'm like, this sounds cool. What the fuck is the point? Why are you wasting my time? Just release the goddamn song. If you're going to tease the song, tease all the parts at the same time. Don't make me wait 2.5 weeks in your drums, bass, lead, rhythm. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. I think that's why I didn't like the song the first couple of times I heard it. And then I listened to it with a less critical ear and just kind of like in the background at work, I'm sitting there typing, I'm going, hey, this song fucking shreds. This is fucking really good. And then I listened to it again. If Darkness Had a Sun, Here I Am. It's fucking, I love it. I can't help it. It's like number 3 for me, I guess, on the album. I dig it. It's awesome. But that TikTok thing is fucking stupid, and that's why I didn't like it the first couple of times I heard it.
Right. To me, it's very eye of the beholder, light.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have the fight, but it has the same feel, but it's just not as potent to me. So
I get
like I said, I mean, it starts out good. I dig it first minute, like a lot of these riffs. Then I'm just like, let's skip to the next song I like. So
right,
which is not Too Far Gone. Go ahead.
My friends in Rifle have a song called "Too Far Gone," and when I saw the track listing, and I sent it to Mr. Jet Piston, I was like, "Look, dude, Metallica's covering Rifle." He goes, "No, they're not."
If they covered Rifle, dude, those guys would be set for life.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
they would. They need it. But he goes, no, they're not. It is just like so like deadpan, nonchalant way. Honestly, it falls under one of the worst songs on the album for me.
Mm-hmm. The video is pretty terrible too.
Yeah, I never watched it.
The same
Dude,
can be
a
said.
lot of these videos suck.
Yeah.
Compared to the Hardwire collection, these are.
You know, I did like most of the videos for Hardwired.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I did.
I liked the video for Hardwired. I thought that was a great video. I thought the rest of them were trash.
I see, like, but I like the tracks that nobody likes on that album. I love the fucking song "Am I Savage" and "Here Comes Revenge." I love those songs.
Yeah. Let's steer back. Let's steer back to 72 seasons here. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. I hate this song.
It's 5 different songs, and it takes forever to get to the point. And when it does, it's not worth it.
It's it's essentially a minute of riff.
Yeah, it's seriously. It feels like they had like 4 different ideas for 4 different songs, and they couldn't come up with 4 different songs for those 4 different ideas. And they're like, "Fuck it, we'll just make one song with these ideas." And I don't like it at all. And I've tried, like, because it seems like it would be something in my wheelhouse. It seems like it would be something that I would like, especially coming from Metallica. And I don't. I can't help it. I don't. Fucking, you guys are better. Do better, Hetfield. Like, seriously. This is. He sounds the worst on this song. I think that "Too Far Gone" in the chorus is awful. I think when they get into the actual chorus, is fucking atrocious. It slows down too much. It speeds up too much. Pick a tempo, boys. You know how to play songs. You've done it for fucking almost 50 years. Fucking do it.
Yes.
Like, I don't fucking get it. And then, like, I see people on Reddit like, "Oh, it's the best song on the album." Who the fuck? What the fuck album are you listening to? You're not listening to the same "Too Far Gone" I am. This is fucking garbage. It's awful, and I don't like it. And I wouldn't put it with the others that I said were on par with the worst Metallica songs of all time. I think it's the worst modern Metallica song. And again, that's including Saint Anger. I know that album came out 20-some years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago. God, I was 17 when it came out. But like I said, a lot of Saint Anger stuff's really fun, and it's different for what they were doing, especially at the time. I think "Too Far Gone" is just trash, and dump it in fucking bin. It's awful.
Yeah, I listened to this today for the first time, probably like a month, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?" It's like, what the fuck?
Absolute rubbish, boy.
This is just filler, man, to make that 76 minutes on the hype sticker. That people seem to think you get a better value if you get more trash on the album. I don't know, but
Right.
anyway, let's go on to Room of Mirrors.
Same thing is this, man. Trash. Didn't care for it.
It's utterly forgettable.
I think they put the 2 worst fucking tracks next to each other.
So you consider that whole part of the album. That's nice of them.
Yeah, so you get it. It's really a fucking 10-song album when you get down to it, because these 2 songs are fucking, they don't need to be there.
Yeah, they could have cut this down to a.
You know, this could have been these 2 songs literally, and they could have been like a No Leaf Clover scenario. They could have only played them on a live show or 2. And then fucking created this fucking crazy hype for them.
Yeah, dude.
But they put
that's 3.
Yeah.
But
but they put them on this album and they're garbage.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a reason why you don't have studio takes of like No Leaf Clover. It's because it's only a live song.
Yeah, and it really only sounds good with an orchestra behind it.
Yeah,
and I feel the same way. And I love Minus.
Right, same thing.
And that song only sounds good with an orchestra behind it.
Yeah.
I've heard the isolated vocals for the recorded version, and it's not great.
Yeah, it sucks. And I mean, these 2 songs, fuck it.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Room of Mirrors is utterly forgettable. It has no place on the rest of the album. I think it is just, it's not good. Like,
this song makes me angry.
Yeah,
actually, like it makes me irrationally angry because it falls into the background and I just start going, ugh. This is so fucking stupid. Why am I listening to this?
And
Getting
the
so
whole
fucking
And
mad.
the whole time you're thinking, you're better than this. You're fucking better than this. You are better than this. And I think that's with a lot of this album is you're better than this.
Right.
That's my line of thinking. As a whole, I think the whole album, I like it, but then nitpicking the individual tracks, like if they could cut 4 or 5 tracks off the album, release an EP, and it would be fucking golden.
Yeah.
It would be fucking amazing. But they had to have an album.
And it had to be a double album.
It had to be a double album because we did that with Hardwired, and it was really successful. Yeah, it was successful because you hadn't done that before. You hadn't released all original material as a double album before. And it didn't need to be a double album.
No.
I don't think, I don't think 72 Seasons needed to be a double album either. And I think trimming the fat, trimming Room of Mirrors, trimming Too Far Gone, trimming Screaming Suicide, get rid of the fluff, put on the bangers. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Well, I'm gonna go against both of you. I fucking love this song. I'll tell you why. I didn't at first, to be honest with you. I really didn't like it. But I started listening to it, and if you pick up like the guitar harmonies and stuff they do in the song, especially toward the end, like the last like minute and a half is like the most Metallica on this album is the last minute and a half of this song. If you just go and listen to it, just like listen to the guitar harmonies, listen how the double bass kicks in, and listen how the bass is.
Yeah, we'll listen to
There's
it.
really no vocal. There's not much vocal, but like that last minute and a half, dude, does it for me. And it's hard. It's kind of boring to get to it, but if you can pick up stuff in the song that's actually pretty cool if you just listen to the guitar harmonies and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I was with you guys, but then I got enlightened because I just heard something one day. I was like, you know what? This is actually pretty good.
We call that Stockholm Syndrome.
No, actually, so I've been waiting for this since you said it. Now, me and you might go a little head to head on this one. I'm not sucking your dick. I'm gonna make you suck mine because Inamorata is a fucking best song on this album, hands fucking down. Doesn't get old. The fucking playtime is just perfect. There's nothing bad about it. The fucking harmonies at the end, the melody is fucking good. The fucking riff is good. The fucking subject matter is good. The video is good. Everything about it's good. The production, Lars's drumming is good. There's nothing bad about this song to me.
My favorite song on the album too.
Are you fucking serious?
It is.
Yeah, dude. I'm fucking yeah.
Because it harkens back to My Friend of Misery, which is probably my favorite Metallica song ever.
I completely respect that. I love My Friend of Misery. You know what My Friend of Misery did that Inamorata couldn't do? Tell the story in less than 11 minutes.
Well, yeah, but they had to go head to head with Maiden, who released an 18-minute song at the end of one of their albums. So they had to come close with 11 minutes.
Dude, they didn't even match Ancient Mariner, dude. That was like 13 or 14.
Empire of the Clouds.
No, I'm talking about Ancient Mariner was 13 and 14. They didn't even match that, and that was 84. So
right,
yeah.
But yeah, Empire of the Clouds is like 18.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I don't think Metallica should write songs longer than 8.5, 9 minutes. And we'll say this.
Well,
they don't have enough ideas. I am a fucking hardcore Metallica fan. I'm a Metallica apologist. Once they get past that 8.5, 9 minute mark, I'm like, yeah, I see why people don't like that much. Like, I get it. Like, it's just it's repetitive.
Well,
it's too much.
That's it right there.
Yeah, but I need her. You want to talk about dumb lyrics? That's a fucking dumb lyric. That's a dumb lyric. I don't like the song. It's too long. They could have trimmed 5 minutes off the song, and it would have been fine. It would have been fine as a 6.5 minute long song, I think.
Dude, they could have added 5 minutes and not been enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you like Outlaw Torn?
There, sir.
And this okay, and I will point this out too. This is also coming from Sam, who is like his favorite Metallica closers are Outlaw Torn and Fixer.
Yeah,
well, dude,
I love
longer, about 10 minutes long
closers. Outlaw Torn, I think, is Outlaw Torn is up there like with their best songs ever written, and I think Fixer's one of the greatest album closers, not just for Metallica, but in general.
Yeah. And so
it's underappreciated by a lot of nobody talks
but see,
about
this totally fits that with me too.
Really think so?
It does, because a lot of this album, especially on the songs like Chasing Light and Shadows Follow, they do have a even Crown of Barbed Wire. They all have a very load reload sound to them.
Yeah, they've got that kind of like arena rock almost.
Yeah, like that almost, it almost sounds like songs that could have been done in that era.
Right.
Well, I was gonna say real quick to your point about the long songs. Alehorn is almost 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's the only time they can get away with that is when they play Alehorn.
Now,
Victor's quite a
is
bit
that the
shorter.
official song?
Yeah, it's 9:52, I think.
That's not the single they released, like 7 extra seconds. But
Yeah, it was like 7. Yeah, it was like an extra 7 seconds because it couldn't all fit on the CD, so they had to cut off the last 7 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
but I think it's an awesome album closer too. I love this song, man. So
I do too. I love it live. I mean, I'm not. I'm totally gonna say this because that's where the interest of Drop 6 came from.
Absolutely.
Was the Overload song was to fucking Outlaw Torn.
right.
You
All right, guys. Well, let's get our official rankings here. We have Metallica, we have Talica or Metallica, the high MEH Talica.
What was the first one? Could you repeat that?
Just Metallica, and then
just
Metallica.
yeah, and then Talica is like obviously the worst version
gotcha.
without the M and E, and then just Metallica like MEH.
Okay.
Well, I kind of actually came up with a legit rating system here. I based art, music, and lyrics on a whole, and I came out to a very average kind of layout. So, I mean, it's just average to me. It's Metallica. It's if you take their career as a whole, I'm not surprised. I am surprised that it's like, why would you do this? It was like, why Too Far Gone? Why Room of Mirrors? Why You Must Burn? Why?
I'll tell you why they do it, man. They're still in the CD era where you can fit like this much, like 78 minutes on a CD. And they're like, it's the most value if we just stack it full. Whereas like they don't remember, like it doesn't matter on digital anymore. You can have as much as you fucking want. And also not taking into consideration the fucking vinyl cost for a fucking three album vinyl is like $35. Dude, they sold 146,000 physical copies like in the first week. That's like the lowest since like what, probably, I don't know, the first 3. Yeah. And so like, could you imagine if that was like $20, it was like a single fucking disc, like side A and B, how much more they would have sold because people could have afforded it or whatever?
Right.
Like they just stacked it on there because they're just in the CD era of trying to get the most out of a CD. Like I'll take the new Night Demon over this any fucking day of the week because I'm done with Night Demon in 30 minutes. It's solid. There's no fat. There's no filler. It's right to the point.
And it's all hungry.
Yeah, and you're out in 30 minutes, dude. It respects your time. It doesn't waste your time. Like this is just like, dude, if you're listening on vinyl, like if you don't skip like, besides B and C, dude, you're in for a fucking long haul, man. You're in for a lot of work.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're switching the fucking disc every fucking 3 songs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know, man. Like they're just in this mode of like, we have to fill the CD to maximum value. And it's like, dude, you don't have to do that shit anymore. Like nobody makes 78-minute albums.
No.
You and I.
Well, and that's the whole thrash mentality too. Thrash, they all wanted to have like, it was like if the album was 30 minutes, they wanted to have 30 minutes of riffage. They boast 278 riffs in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, they would do shit like that. And, that's what they're doing with this too. I mean, honestly, I agree with what Sam said too. They could have cut off like 5 or 6 songs and made a great 8-song album or
2 EPs even.
Yeah, or 2 EPs and released them at 2 different times because, they don't have any fucking reptilian overlords fucking in a record label. They are the label.
Yeah.
They make the rules.
I agree. Like I say, I just feel it's probably kind of weird that they're so obsessed with like just these long albums. Like, dude, how much filler did you have on Hardwire? There's a lot on there too,
Absolutely. The whole second disc.
So it's like, dude, why?
Oh, stop that.
And that album was front loaded like a motherfucker.
No.
Absolutely.
No, I will disagree with that, man.
You can disagree.
That's a whole other episode talking about Hardwire.
I'm going to contradict myself. If I'm giving it a grade, I'm giving it a Metallica grade, not a Metallica grade, but straight Metallica because it's more Metallica.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. It's more Metallica. The boys are still putting out quality music, and regardless of how not great it is for the most part. Like the album as a whole is not fantastic. It's still more Metallica, and that's a lot more than we can ask for right now.
Adding to that, to me, it's one of the things too where they just. How many times do you go back and listen to Master of Puppets?
A couple times a year.
Yeah. Or, you'll get in that rut where you'll want to listen to it fucking 14 fucking times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These albums don't do that.
Yeah. They don't
and honestly, that's not a Metallica problem. That is a music problem. That is what everybody's music does. Not just, Metallica's or Billie Eilish's or Lady Gaga's or Overloads or Night Demons. Or Temptation's Wings, even, and like I said, mine too, Overload. But it's the replayability factor.
Unfortunately, modern music is so disposable that when you do find that band that releases a new album that you can listen to more than 1 or 2 times, and it's like, this is the best fucking thing I've ever heard.
Right.
And I've done that with so many modern hardcore bands and so many modern metal bands. I think Gojira, when they released Amazonia a couple of years ago, I think I listened to that like 6 times in a week.
Dude, that fucking album's phenomenal, dude.
It's so.
I just saw him live with Mastodon like a few weeks ago, and I've never heard that stuff live before, man. It was fucking good.
Yeah, fucking Amazonia is one of the most interesting albums that's been released in the last 15 or 20 years. But it makes sense coming from who it's coming from. I think if Gojira were to release an album like 72 Seasons next year, we would probably be having the same discussion as we're having with 72 Seasons right now. It's not great. It's more Gojira. That's all we can ask for right now. I fucking love Gojira. I hold them to the same standard as Metallica because everything they've released has been exceptional. And that's the standard I hold Metallica to. Like, I don't care what it sounds like, what it is. There's only one album of theirs I refuse to listen to, and it's not their fault because the music on it's fucking mint. It's the fucking lyrics and vocals from Lou Reed. But the more Metallica we get, especially as they get older, and we can see a different side of them as they're getting older. And I know we had the discussion the other day where we were talking about people talk about Korn releasing new music for angsty 12-year-olds when they're in their 40s and 50s.
Right.
Metallica's doing the same thing, except it's aged up slightly. So now they're releasing music for angsty 30-year-olds, which is my wheelhouse in my ballpark. So I get what they tried to do with 72 Seasons. I completely get it. That's why, as a whole, I'll listen to it again.
Um, oh, and I hate the fucking title too.
I will say 70 seasons is a dumb title.
Can I say one thing real quick before we wrap up? We forgot to mention on I forgot the song name. Track 2, Shadows Follow. Is anybody else disappointed they didn't finish the Batman riff? I mean, seriously, like one time, like just once, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why are you teasing me? Just play the fucking Batman riff. It's there.
Get out of your system, boys.
Yeah. all you need is those last 2 notes. The dun, dun, that's all you needed, and it was done. Surely somebody out there on YouTube has added that on by now because it's.
I hope so.
Time.
So yeah, one other thing here. Rob was only on one song on this album vocally.
I thought he was on most of it.
No, it says Rob Trujillo is credited with the bass and backing vocals on "You Must Burn."
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. So, well, that's not uncommon because James does do his own backing in the studio for most of it.
Well, yeah, it's like he does a lot of the multi-layer vocal tracking. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. But at the same time, like I feel like I heard that he did a lot of the backing vocals on the album.
Well, and what do you all think of this? This is the first endeavor that, or maybe the second, that Metallica did not use a producer.
I think they need somebody to rein him in.
Yeah, they need a yes, no man versus more than a whatever because you're paying me, man. Like,
yeah,
get a producer that wants their name on it, and like an Andy Sneap. I think Metallica record with Andy Sneap would be fucking phenomenal, dude.
Oh god, it'd be fucking so good.
Yeah, I really do. I think he would like do them a lot of fucking goodwill because he would just like take all the riffs that are killer, and that would just be it. Like it would just be like you don't need these 12 songs. Let's do 7 because these other songs aren't really that good. You know.
He would keep them trimmed to like a light 50 minutes probably.
Yeah,
like
the thing is, dude, they record in their own practice space. They're comfortable. There's nobody telling them that sucks. Yeah, just like let's just try this instead. It's just like let's just scrap this.
Well, and here's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Greg Fidelman has been the acting co-producer with Lars and James.
Yeah, since Death Magnetic, he was like,
he worked with Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
And see, that was the whole thing. They said Rubin produced
probably
Hardwired, but I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he touched it because it doesn't sound like a Rick Rubin record.
No, because Death Magnetic, holy shit.
It sounds like a Rick Rubin record. It's big, it's loud, it's full.
Yeah.
But Hardwired doesn't have that same bigness to it.
But
right.
Yeah, they really should have a producer, like just someone different. They've used Fiddleman 3 records now. It's time to change it up, just like somebody else. Because
yes, I agree.
You just start sounding this. You just rinse and repeat, man. At that point.
Yep. Yeah. And honestly, I think that's how I kind of feel on this album. It's a rinse and repeat album.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I liked those songs on Hardwired, what I was talking about, like the Am I Savage, and because they do fit in that Load era for them. And I love the Load era because, that's when I was a teenager, just like rediscovering Metallica. I had heard them before when I was younger with, my brother not digging Justice and shit like that, and my sister with the Black Album.
Right.
And, and then when I'm 13 years old and fucking Load comes out, it's like, holy shit, man, this is fucking it's like dark and dirty and fucking like, it's not like what everything else was, but it's like, it was cool at the time.
Yeah.
A layer of grime on it that sounded nice.
Yeah. And we'll have to come back on that on the Load and Reload.
Yes, I still want to do that soon. We'll have Sam on that one too. He seems very strongly opinionated, which I love. And so yeah, I'm sure we get into good discussions on that one.
Yeah, I can talk about Load and Reload for hours.
My idea is to put track 1 and track 1 on both albums head to head. Pick one and make a new album out of the songs.
Ain't my bitch.
Until you get to the end where we have to put in No Leaf Clover because it's a different amount of songs. So we'll have to move the closers down to face each other. But That's not right now. So
definitely. So yeah, I mean, it's Jason. What would you say it was? Meh, Metallica.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, dude, if it was just more focused and concise, I would probably hold this pretty high. But dude, I just skip a lot. Like 72 seasons, I'm all in. You Must Burn, or not You Must Burn. Shadows Follow. If I'm in the right mood, I'll go the whole way. And then after that, it's just like when the riff starts kicking in and the drums kind of settle, I just get bored of it, and I'm on to the next. Like the drums are not very dynamic, and I swear to God, dude, I'm pretty sure you could probably count. I'm pretty sure the toms are hit less than 100 times in the whole album. Like there is no fucking tom work at all, dude. It's all fucking snare fills. Like
it's Lars, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like, dude, I know you like Clive Burns shit.
I think that's a new
Clive
thing.
Burns dead, and he does that. He's done that already. So let's just do you, man. Like, where is Lars on Kill 'Em All Ride, Justice, and Master of Puppets? Like, I don't even take Lars on Black Album. I don't think it's terrible. Like, it's simple because the album's simplified. But I don't think his drumming is fucking any less impactful on that album. It's just like the later albums where he just gets lazy and doesn't want to do anything.
Well, yeah. I mean,
is it that he doesn't want to do it or that he can't?
No, he doesn't. Like I said, there's a fill in like Moth in the Flame or whatever that song's called.
The one they did with Gaga.
Yeah, and there's a badass like drum fill at the end, like really sends the song home, and it's like really impactful. Like I was like, dude, that is fucking great. And then like then I go see him on that tour live, and it's just like, what the fuck? You forgot the whole goddamn drum fill, like the double bass on Hardwire at the end. He doesn't play that shit live. He doesn't even attempt it. You know, I'm like, dude, why are you recording shit you have no intention of playing? Like it sucks because
that's because
you recorded is really good, and then you're just like, yeah, but fuck it, I'm a runner. I'm not gonna play double bass. It's like, you know, it's like.
Do you think it's honestly because like? Do you think that he might like try to learn what they're programming?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, it's weird. Like if you're gonna play a hard song, just play a song off Load next. Like if you're gonna play like Hardwired, then go play like 2x4 or something easy next to rest your legs if that's what you're worried about. Conditioning. You know,
yeah.
Like songs you can Whom the Bell Tolls, dude. You're not breaking a sweat on Whom the Bell Tolls. Like I'm not,
because it's just a fucking basic
song.
fucking beat.
I'm not
That's
trashing
his
the song
laziest
just saying it's an easy song to play if you're worried about conditioning. You know, play the hard songs as recorded. Like do the song service. Like the thing that kills me the most is like on Creeping Death. Now, like he doesn't do that badass like tom roll. He just like hits the snare and a cymbal like 3 times. You know, it's like and I'm like, what the fuck? That sucks, dude. It's like do that epic like tom roll, man. That's like damn 4 toms, man. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then have the big fucking pyro blast, dude. It's fucking impactful. You know. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. But,
no, I totally get it, man.
Yeah.
Because
that's my biggest gripe about Lars is, dude, he doesn't do his own song service. Like the reason people crack on him for sucking is because he doesn't play the shit that he wrote.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And I think now, you know, you've inspired me to go after we're done here. I want to go watch Pride, Passion, and Glory, which I think is their best recorded show in recent years.
Yeah.
And that's the one from Mexico City or whatever.
Dude, I watched
the Death
I watched the
Magnetic
Russia
show.
one the other day, like the million people Russia one. And
yeah,
man, like his drumming is so goddamn ferocious in that song, dude. I mean, it's like
from Harvester.
It's like watching him play, and now he's just like, if I don't have my toothpick, I don't look cool. It's like, dude, just play the shit like you used to. You'll look plenty cool enough, you know. Like,
I think money's done that to him. Unfortunately, I think the level of fame that he has specifically with and some kind of monster really proved that with the art auctions and the wine, and he's such a pretentious motherfucker. And he's really the weakest link of the band, and unfortunately they can't get rid of him.
Right, yeah.
He owns everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He owns every fucking thing because his daddy was a professional tennis player.
Well, It's not even that. I don't even care about that. Like, personally, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. I'm just talking like music wise. He doesn't do himself any favors because he just fucking shortchanges himself live. That's all, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he might shortchange himself live, but guess what? They're also fucking selling out too still.
Yeah.
Well, it's very I mean, like Metallica's like lowest hanging fruit for like casual metal fans. Like people like say I'm into metal because I listen to Metallica. It's like, yeah, but dude, are you?
Yeah.
Which is exactly the point.
Is it safe?
Which is exactly why I got so fucking offended when somebody said in front of a fucking touring band, oh, his favorite band's Metallica. Fucking, that is a fucking insult.
Yeah.
That is said as a fucking insult. That's like, oh, he only listens to the fucking, you know, the radio shit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a fucking insult. So you're exactly my point, Jason.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Fucking ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love Metallica also. Like, I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, I like all their stuff for the most part. But again, like when people just like want to talk metal with me, and all they know is like Metallica and like, you know, Megadeth. It's like, well, let's talk some real fucking metal, dude. Let's get into the fucking nitty gritty. You know, like what's your favorite? Like, what's your favorite Behemoth album? You know, what is your like, you know, what's your favorite like underground band from like Australia? Like, let's get down and dirty and talking real metal and not just the fucking glossy shit on top. You know what I mean?
I like Alien Weaponry, but they're from New Zealand. So,
oh, yeah. I was gonna say Dr. Colossus because they're the Simpsons theme band.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Danny,
we should wrap it up because I do need to get going here. So
for sure,
so,
man.
Wessling Steve, it was good to mess around with you. I hope I didn't get too personal. I really don't want you to come blow me. It was just I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that opportunity because you laid down the challenge about sucking dick when you said
no, it only applied to me.
Love that song, so.
It only applied to me. I'm the only one getting blown, so
oh.
Right.
Well, maybe you and Mark can hash that out since you're in the
Hey.
I love Mark, but not that much.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, anyway, be sure to catch the Wessling Steve show on Spotify and also the Metal Forge and the Mudhorn here on the Patreon, here on Flamekeeper. And I hope everyone enjoyed this video and leave comments. Maybe we're all wrong. Who knows? I don't know. But just let us know. Yeah.
And metal every day.
Yeah, and Lars, if you're watching, seriously, dude. Play the shit as you recorded it. This is coming from a guy who nobody's heard of, by the way. But anyway, I'm a fan, so please listen to me.
Yeah. And don't sue me.
Yeah.
We're not.
I actually downloaded a song off Napster once.
Oh no. Is that drones I hear?
That's exactly what they were in Moth into Flame or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking the drones were fucking like they're actually targeting the fucking Napster users. Fucking so it's like spit out the bone.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. So
I was wondering why there was so much room around me after that song was done, after everyone got disintegrated with the lasers. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah, some very death clock. All right, guys. Well, take it easy, and we will see you next month for another episode of the Alehorn.
See ya.
Bye.
Metal every day.
Yes.
For 45 years and keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week, located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out.